There it goes. Good afternoon and welcome to
We're here.
Titan Talk. Wow.
Talking Titan talk.
All right. It's been a
Words are
Monday.
hard, but we're on a podcast.
So thanks for joining us today. Today you got myself and we have our local talent. So thank you guys for joining us today.
Hello, sorry, I was taking a sippy sip.
Today we're going to be doing a miniature version of a Not Shop Talk. We're going to talk a little bit about the event that we had this weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about Father's Day because it was an eventful day. We'll talk a little bit about Juneteenth. And then we're going to do a little Not Shop Talk, and then we're going to get you guys out of here. So we appreciate you guys so much for joining us today. We had our
Saturday.
we had our
Those of you
event.
that came and had my delicious burgers.
They were all right.
Got lots of compliments. Nobody died yet. No one's got the what is it? Not gangrene.
Salmonella.
Yes.
That's
Salmonella.
chicken.
Well, what's
beef.
another food poisoning thing you could get?
Food
Mad
poisoning.
cow disease.
Well, that's not anything.
Nobody
you can
has
control.
mad cow disease. I bet you I can go
Control.
100 for 100 on no mad cow diseases.
Billy, Suzanne, thanks for joining us.
It's good seeing everybody.
So we had our event on Saturday. I was there for the first, hour and a half, maybe two. Not 100% sure. I think I left it. It might have been 3. I think I was there at 11. I stayed till 1. And I had some stuff I had to take care of.
Yeah, I remember you saying you had to bug out a little early.
Yeah, I had to.
obviously got some sun. I was there for quite a while.
Well, you were also standing outside the
Yes.
whole time.
That little canopy was nice, though.
Yeah.
And I enjoy grilling, so I mean it was hot, but it doesn't really bother me.
You look like you were in your element.
Yeah, that's a fun thing for me to do.
For anybody who joined us on Saturday and you ate his food, let us know if it was any good.
Yeah.
Culbertson, thanks for joining us.
Just remember, I am the captain, and I'm friends with a guy that schedules your lives. So no, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm going to tell you to
I
give
would
the
never
honest
threaten.
truth. I'll make sure your schedules stay the same.
Well, I know enough to be dangerous in that scheduling system. But no, hopefully
No, it
everybody came and enjoyed themselves. It was good to see people brought their kids.
Yeah, we had a nice little
Good to
kids
see.
center set up on
Yeah.
the inside where they had toys and a little play area too. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. Big shout out to Brian. That's probably I've been here 5 or 6 years. That's probably been one of the most successful parties or just events
I think that was
I've
the
seen.
one. I think that one we've got the most return on from employees saying that they'll show up.
Yeah.
We did a Christmas party 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't remember.
I've never been to any of them.
We had one. It was up on
Usually
the
working.
6th floor before it was offices. It was kind of like an event space, and it was all open on one side, and they had a kitchen and everything. And we did
cool.
a Christmas party in there, and that was a monstrous turnout.
Good.
Like it was huge. But I think this one we had the most physical replies to it. I don't know how many people actually wound up showing up.
I think we estimated like 60, 70-ish.
Then it would have beat that one because we had 45 people show up to the one for the Christmas party.
Yeah.
And
Well, the company was probably 5 years ago. The company was probably half the size it is. now.
Yeah.
So it's probably the same percentage of employees.
But
Or
it just
close to.
even with me when the time frame I was there, it seemed like there were more people.
Dude, look how
there were
dark
definitely more kids.
Sorry to interrupt you. That's my job. Look how dark it just got
That's
out
all
there.
you do. It's
I
nice.
just walked the lake and it was super bright. Now it looks
There's a
like
cloud coverage.
huge. Yeah, I didn't see it. It's clear skies. Oh, and we did have to divert to the office, so hopefully that didn't deter too many people from
Yes.
coming. It ended up not
Due to
raining.
weather
Yeah.
because of rain and it didn't rain.
But I'd rather.
Be safe than sorry.
Yep. And so,
Absolutely.
but yeah, it was something that is a decision that Brian had to make, and him and I kind of chatted about it. I was just like, dude, the
I'm
easiest thing
with
to do is just find a home base for everybody. I know it's going to probably drop our numbers a little bit, but we're out at the park and it just starts to. The
It'd
weather
ruin
does
it.
what it wants.
It would
yeah.
ruin it.
Yeah, I mean, people they would all scatter.
Yeah.
Scatter. No, it was a lot of fun. I literally got here like a little bit before. I think it was. I want to say 9. Yeah, 9. Yeah, 9. I got almost all the way here and realized I left all my grilling utensils at my house.
So you had to flip around and go get
So,
it.
no, I just went over. I'll never give up an excuse to buy more grilling utensils.
That's true. That's it.
So Sinead's be like, "Why did you buy more?" Because I like them.
Made a mistake.
Yeah, I think I left them with the company, but
It's not going to be the only cookout we do.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That way, when I forget them next
you
time,
don't have to worry about forgetting them.
yes, so I grabbed those real quick and then literally got here, kind of helped set up a little bit. Brian was already, full motion going, and I fired up the grill. Charcoal, by the way, makes a difference.
Taste the heat, not the meat.
Yeah, it's good. Well, it's just gas is not bad, but getting that to and from would have been difficult because
Got to worry about the tank. And
Well, yeah, and the way you transport them is a little different. Charcoal, we just laid it over in Leon's truck and drove it down here. It's one of my old charcoal ones. So
yeah, I totally forgot the strap, by the way.
yeah, that's why we laid it down. It was fine. Got dust in his truck, but that's what it's for. It's a Dodge. As Lieutenant Shaughnessy says, it's a Dodge. You can handle it.
It's a Dodge.
But yeah, so I literally started grilling at like 10:15, and I did not stop until about 2 o'clock. So I had a lot of fun. Hopefully everybody enjoyed. Hopefully everybody enjoyed themselves. And
I know Lieutenant Brown tried to fillet his hand.
yeah, he's.
I told him I'd bring it up on the podcast just to give him a nice little extra jab there.
I just managed the cooking of dead animal when it comes to the
vegetables.
garden, the vegetables you put on it. Leon stepped up and actually did a really good job of slicing and stuff. But we had one of those. What is it called? Not the guillotine, but the julienne.
Yeah, the julienne, the little thing where you stick it on there and you slide it back and forth.
Well, there's a handle. It looks like this, a little bit like this ball, and it's got a little platform, and it's got spikes in it.
And you put it
stick
on,
it into
yeah.
the tomato, and that's why when
It
you
keeps
go,
your hand safe.
Yeah, guess who wasn't using it?
Yeah, I know. That's
and
how
guess the exact phrase I said as I walked inside to get, I don't know, more supplies or napkins or something. And I go, Brown, don't cut yourself.
First one,
I didn't even
wasn't it?
get back to the tent. He's walking up the steps and he's just dripping blood. And I go, you idiot. And he
Decontamination,
goes, but to his defense, as soon as he saw me, I look at it, I go, really, dude? Because I thought, it looked kind of bad. And so I was grabbing the first aid kit, and I was like, there might be some like that glue,
Yeah.
like a little temporary suture glue or whatever. And the first thing he goes, you called it. And I go, it doesn't make me feel better about it. You sliced off half your pinky. He got a good little
He got
nip.
a good chunk of it.
It was a good nip out of the top. Once he got it to stop bleeding, I felt better, but I was like, man, come on. But he's, young and dumb, and that's okay. I was that way too.
Oh, we all
I think
were.
You're invincible. And to be honest, he was doing it because I started it, and my tomatoes looked like I just literally smashed it into the little
Into the board.
box.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. I'll man the grill or keep manning the grill or focus on something else, carrying water bottles or something. I was like, this isn't for me. And when he started, he actually had a little technique, and I was like, he's gonna cut himself. I said, don't cut yourself.
What's he do?
Yeah, whatever. So
It happens. I mean,
he's okay. That's the most important thing. If he would have gotten worse, I would have been more angry with him.
I'll tell you, I have one of those things at the house, and the first time I used it, the first thought in my head was, if I don't use that little topper thing, I was like, I'm gonna cut my finger open.
Yeah.
I just know it because I mean, they're all super sharp. I mean, it's just
Yeah, so it's like a razor blade.
And the first time I was using it, man, I was just going back and forth, and I didn't use the first one I cut with it was a tomato, and I didn't have the topper, and I got to like the very last eighth
yeah,
of it,
I'm
and I was
good.
like, I'm gonna throw that in the trash,
Yep.
and then I grabbed the little topper thing, and I was like, and I'm gonna use this because that's gonna wind up being bad.
Yeah.
And I'm the guy that's like, I don't want to say like I'm dumb enough, like I would just rush through it real quick and
Yep.
then notice
You
that
don't
like
even feel
all
it.
of my fingertips are
Yeah.
gone. I'd be like,
You don't even because it happens so fast you don't even feel it. And then
Yeah.
I was like, we can't use that anymore because there's a piece of Brown's finger in there that's going to be on somebody's burger. So Leon went back to slicing. He actually did a really good
Cut it
job.
by
They were
hand.
nice and thick.
Yeah, he did.
Good thick tomatoes. But no, it's a funny story. I won't say where it was for just liability purposes. But I worked at the back of the house of a restaurant growing up in high school, and actually like jumped around a bunch of different positions. So this is like my first day in the back. It's a different animal. People that work restaurants before, the back of the house versus the front of the house, different. They're north and south. They're
Yeah.
two different entities. And so the guys back there, we're all running around. It was a brunch because we had a slicer that was like built into the table, and there was like a little lock where you would lock the blades up and then you'd unlock it.
Yep.
Well, they were up, and this guy's cutting melons, and there's like a 3-prong, and it just cuts them perfectly. And this is a true story. I told this to Leo.
I know where this is
watched this
going.
happen. Sliced his hand so bad, and before he could even see, he's just like, He looks over, and there's like this little oil pan. Puts his hand in the oil, and then puts it on the hot stove and sears his
the
hand shut.
oh,
Yeah, and then goes over and like scrapes it and sanitizes it. But that actually, I was like, I don't know if I'm cut out for the back of the house, dude.
good Lord.
I'm going to the hospital if I do that. Yeah, just
All right, back
he's
to
just
work.
Like, he's like shaking, kind of looking at it, and you can just see the blood. There's no blood. All of a sudden, it starts pooling. Like
Yeah.
it was probably a good 1/4 inch deep on 2 or 3 of his fingers. Like I mean, he definitely had to get some medical attention, but that got him through the shift. I mean, he put like with those plastic.
Yep, the little gloves.
Yeah, on each finger, and then he put gloves on over it and just wrapped it up. And you mean it didn't hold perfectly, but he was able to continue. I mean,
That's
people go home
that's
for a
dedication right there.
bellyache.
You want
That dude about cut his fingers off and he's staying at work.
I said my dad had a guy
Didn't
like
speak
that.
a lick of English either.
My dad had a guy like that. He was he put a nail. They were doing a roof. My dad did construction, and they were doing a roof. My dad had told the guys, "Hey, watch out for this. Watch out."
Yeah,
for
you told me
that.
that story.
Well, this is a different guy. That guy kept going too, but
Yeah.
this dude put a nail through his big toe. The other guy put it through the center. This dude did it like right through his big toe. Hops down off the roof, takes his boot off, looks at his foot, and goes, "Man, that's stuck." He goes, "That sucks." Tapes his toe up, like, all nice. Puts his boot back on, and goes, "All right, Bill." He goes, "I'm headed back up." My dad goes, "What do you?" He goes, "Go to the hospital." He's like, "We haven't finished." My dad's like,
Yeah.
"No, get out of here."
Different breed of people, man.
Let's see. Bauer says, "I'm so glad you're here." Another question: average day of the week, month. What's the split out of sketchy and boring doing security?
What's
Sketchy. What's the average difference between sketchy and boring? Like, what's the percentage?
Depends on where you're at.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of site by site. Some of them you'll get a lot of. I'd say it's a 60-40, 70-30, and then some of them are 90.
Sketchy isn't a good way to put it. Put dangerous, I think, is better. Sketchy kind of has like a bad
Yeah, I'd say.
vibe to it. I mean, because like when someone will be like, "That guy looks sketchy."
That's
You
true.
shouldn't say that.
I'll give you
It's
that.
just that guy is giving me reason to believe that he's up to no good, or he's a what is that? Ne'er do well. I heard on the radio. Apparently, it's someone that like.
Never heard of it.
Man, I think.
I
it's
mean, I
Nair-
might have
Nair-
and forgot,
Where
but-
is Devin? I heard it for the first time, and I didn't look it up, but I kind of understood, or at least I think I did from the context. A ne'er-do-well is someone that's just up to no good all the time. I think that's what it is.
right.
It's like a ne'er-do-well or ne'er-do-well. That's the context, or using the context that I heard it. I was like, oh, they were referencing someone who's a ne'er-do-well. I'm
So let's
probably
change the
butchering
verbiage on it. Let's
Yeah.
change the verbiage. Instead of saying sketch, let's say dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous versus boring. I'd say site to site.
It just
I'd
depends on
say-
the crime rate in the
Yeah.
area. That's really all.
I was going to say we've got
plays
some that
into
are
it.
higher than others, and we've got some that are very low.
I had a lunch with two ex KCPD cops that are in security now, and their combined years of one was 25 years and got out, the other was 27 years and got out, and we were talking about North Patrol, which is the Northland where I live, and crime. There's crime everywhere, but it's not near as bad as south of the river. I mean, statistics would prove that. I'm not saying if you or someone that's from South River, you're a bad person. I'm just saying statistically there's more crime there. And so they were talking about a building or a company. I won't say any names or anything, but a company that's probably 15 minutes from my house that was losing $93,000 worth of product a day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Talk about loss.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe it was a
painful.
month. No, I'm pretty sure it was a day. No, maybe it was a month. Anyway, that's
That's
a lot of
still
money.
painful.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
90, even I would say even $93,000 a
I'm pretty
month.
sure. Let me here. I'm gonna text him.
He's going to get clarification, so we'll come back to that. Your guys' podcast, the only thing that keeps me up on the night shifts. Well, I'm glad to see that you're listening, hopefully not watching while you're at work
Or falling asleep.
or falling asleep to us. So that's good. Glad
we do
could
have some guys
provide.
that fall asleep during day shift. It does happen.
If Roman was on here, it'd put everybody to sleep. He's got that radio voice.
well, hello, welcome to
Yeah, it's just-
NPR.
Anytime we're on a Zoom meeting or a virtual meeting with him, it's just Leon always says, "Where's my radio voice, Roman?" Let's see. Why am I not surprised? Brown almost. Did he almost burn himself too?
Probably.
Let's see. Sounds like something Brown would do.
Oh man, a lot of people throwing shade at old Lieutenant Brown. Dude, you know who has a good report
You know
as
who-
officers is Lieutenant Brown though. So that's probably all in good fun.
Yeah.
When we were working on scheduling, we had that schedule crunch the other day. I just kept hearing him, hey, I need a favor. Okay, perfect. Which one do you want? And
Yeah.
I know they're picking a shift at that point, and so
Yes, we knew exactly what you meant. Let's see.
Hopefully he
they're
answers.
debating on what the dangerous versus other dangerous is on properties. It's ne'er do well, an idle or worthless person. Merriam-Webster.
an idol. What's
I don't know about the idle part.
maybe if you like idolize bad
yeah,
people?
near do well.
Well,
Hey
that doesn't
Charles,
answer
thanks
my
for joining
question.
us. Huh?
Hold on.
Yeah, it does.
No, this one.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
So okay,
I'm being rude.
we'll move back to that once we get the
We're
answer.
thinking a month.
A month.
He
I didn't say
answered me, but yeah, a month.
Okay.
93K
But
a
still,
month.
$93K a month.
That's
That's
It's a lot of booty.
That's
Yeah, a lot of rubies.
that's almost 1.2 a year. That's a ton of loss, dude.
And it's 10 minutes from my house.
Oof.
Yeah, so
I
that,
mean, like,
that just goes to show
anywhere.
that's not, that's property theft. So it's not someone well, they could have had a weapon. I don't know.
But at the same
details.
time-
speculation says that that's a guy that probably works for the company or has tips people off.
Has
on certain
worked for the
things. Yeah,
company or-
there's a connection there. So there's probably not strong arm robbery or anything, but that's still crime.
Yeah.
And that's a very high percentage
In the area.
in the area. So it again, just going back to the balance between boring and
Dangerous.
active. Yeah, dangerous. Just depends on where you're at.
Yeah, it's gonna change because you'll have some properties that are in a dangerous area, but there's a very low percentage because of the property that it is.
Yeah.
we actually have a couple of those. They're in a high risk area, but the level there is much lower because of the type of property it is. So it's really going to depend on the site. A lot depends on the area that it's in, and then it also kind of depends on the management and the people that are there, and the stuff like that. The clients that come in. There's a lot that goes into that. So it's a good consideration to take into account, but a big thing to look into if you're ever concerned with, like, I do it when I'm moving places. I check the crime statistics of the area I'm moving into, not just the city, but the actual 4 or 5 blocks of my neighborhood.
Yeah, a lot of times you can usually tell by the price of rent or mortgages
Yes.
and stuff. Just because if it's like $600 utilities included apartment, there's probably some ne'er-do-wells that live in the same apartment or nearby. Just in this day and age, I mean, they're going to lower the price to incentivize people to move there because people are moving out because it's
Prices
dangerous.
are high.
Yeah,
It's dangerous.
Dangerous. Yeah. Now, usually they can dictate the price pretty well. If it's high and people are paying to be there, then they don't really have to adjust much. But if people are moving out at a rapid pace because the area is not safe or being patrolled or whatnot, you think they got to sacrifice somewhere. So
Yep. Next Father's Day. For those of you who worked on Father's Day, thank you so much. For those of you who are fathers and worked on Father's Day, I really thank you for that. I hope everybody enjoyed their Father's Day and either got to spend a little bit of time or was able to reach out to their fathers. For those of you that can, I know not everybody's able to for whatever reasons, but I hope everybody enjoyed that. And as for today being Juneteenth, I hope everybody who's working, I appreciate you guys for coming in and doing that. For those of you who got Juneteenth off, congratulations. Not everybody has that holiday on their schedule. I had a few clients that I thought they did not. And then I had a few clients that I thought they didn't, and they did. So it's kind of in the air of which one, who does what anymore. So for those of you working today, thank you so much for your hard work and dedication to coming in and getting that taken care of and keeping us with the lights on. So thank you so much for that. And then let's see, the last one being we're going to talk about will be Friday's show. I wanted to bring this up. Unfortunately, with how busy everything was between getting the event planned and then me getting everything ready for my vacation, we were not able to shoot a podcast for Friday. So unfortunately, this Friday we are going to be skipping a show. One, our local talent is going to be busy and out of the office, unfortunately, that day, so he will not be able to do it.
Yeah, sorry.
Two,
guys.
he doesn't really know the back end stuff, all of the digital stuff.
He'd come back and look like a hamster got a hold of it.
So I don't want him to have to freak out and potentially, put himself in a hospital trying to figure out all this stuff. So no worries. And then, so we will be back live that Monday, the 26th, I believe is what the date is, with another podcast. So this Friday, unfortunately, we do not have a show for you guys pre-recorded. So we'll be skipping that day, so you guys will get a break from our voices, and you guys don't have to suffer with us. For those of you who actually like watching the podcast, I'd ask what's wrong with you, but that's okay. We're good with it.
And then I'll be absent next Monday, so we'll have one of the.
It'll probably be
Shaughnessy or
Lieutenant Shaughnessy or Lieutenant Brown.
Or I mean, if there's somebody you guys want to see that's a supervisor that we could say, hey, the people have spoken. They want to see you because not everybody likes or feels comfortable talking in front of people. I do it for a living, so this is literally just an afternoon for me.
Yeah, just another day.
It's going to be out in the ethos forever, so I'm not going to say anything stupid, which I'm known to do
often.
But
we both are.
I just like chatting with you guys. I feel like we can connect with you guys and hopefully get some awareness out so you guys can learn to capitalize names in a report or the first letter of the sentence or normal basic grammar, please.
Yes,
Please.
yes, Beatty, I'm taking a vacation.
Yes.
I know it's strange, and a lot of people have freaked out the first time I said it on air. They're like, "Oh my goodness, you know how to do that?" And I'm like, "Not really, but I'm learning."
You usually do one a year, don't you?
Uh,
Because last year you did. Like
I'm starting
pre-Thanksgiving.
to.
Yeah, it's good.
This would be the second vacation I've taken in a decade.
Well, good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you worked with like a ruptured spleen or something, didn't you?
Appendix,
Yeah.
yeah, appendix. I had worked with it. I don't even know how long at this point
Glutton
anymore.
for pain.
But the doctor was like, "Yeah, you should have been in like 6 months ago, and there's no way you should not be able to walk as well as you do." And I'm like, "I've got a job to do." She's like, "No, there's something like mentally wrong with you." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but
That's
I mean,
100% guaranteed.
yeah." I was like, "But we don't have to go that route."
I'm
And
a
then I tried working
professional
the
and
day
I
after
approve.
surgery.
Yeah.
Leon yelled at me for that. I tried coming in.
Yeah, no, we need you healthy. It was like that time I was pretty sick, and he was like mad at me. I'm like, "Why are you mad at me? I just want to work." He's like, "Because I need you for the long term. Take a few days off." I was like, all right, fair.
It's kind of what he told,
I don't mind.
He told me the same thing.
But I enjoyed getting away from it. I have to. I've tried just grinding, and it is too mentally taxing, and I'm not afraid to admit that. And part of it is my mentor Leon doesn't. He just never stops.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I should be able to do that. I can't. Yeah, I just get mentally exhausted, and I'm just like, because I'm usually 95% of the time pretty happy-go-lucky, and when I'm not like that, people notice. I think everybody in the office is like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I just need to take a break." So
Yeah.
we had a family. It was the perfect time. We had a family reunion, and that was fun. So it's the last time I missed the podcast. So, but yeah, unfortunately, I won't be here Monday. Maybe I could remote in.
I haven't quite figured that part out yet.
Come on, nerd, do your nerd stuff.
Wait, man, there's a lot going on.
Brian can help too. But again, big shout
can.
out to Brian. Shout out of the day. What's an acronym? Shout. SOOTD. That's easier to say shout out of the day.
Yeah.
So the shout out of the day is for Brian setting that up. Like Coop said, probably one of the best turnouts we've had in his tenure. And I've been here, it'll be six or 7 years in December.
7. No,
6,
6.
18.
I think you're going
19,
into
20, 21, 22, 23. And it'll be 24.
yeah,
So,
going
yeah.
into your 7th.
Yeah. No, 6.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I started at 18.
You counted it out, and I wasn't
think
even
18.
looking.
17 or 18, 6 or 7. Tomato. I've been here a long time.
Man, I was talking to somebody.
Hopefully I'm here for a long time longer.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was talking about like work, just working lengthwise, and I was like, yeah, I've been working at my current company since this year, and they go, I graduated high school in that year, and I was like, just get away from me.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear like that hurts.
And then Brown reminded us
Yeah,
of his
this
age,
morning.
and I was like, you whippersnapper.
Yeah, you were like, oh yeah, he's this age, you're this age, and he goes, no, I'm
still this age.
I'm still
And I
this
was
age. Get out of my office.
Gosh. You've like never seen a VCR, or it's scary. You start to get older faster, and then it just never.
I said
slows
CD
down.
to somebody one time, and they looked at me and go, what's a CD?
Oh boy.
I'm like, oh no. I was like, you can burn a CD, and they're like, huh?
Yep.
That's painful. Or an MP3 player.
Yeah, someone that had.
What's funny is we talk about MP3 players, and we all carry them around now anyway.
Well, it's funny because we were going through some stuff to shred in a desk, and I opened up a drawer, and there was an old like mini iPod, and like it had the old like big thick wide charger, and I'm like, wow. I remember when that thing was like the bee's knees.
It was like $250.
Oh yeah, and it held like maybe like 1,000 songs,
Yeah.
and now you have an unlimited amount you can hold in
I
your phone.
remember I was a kid, and I wanted an MP3 player so bad, and I was talking to my stepdad, and my mom said no. And I was talking to my stepdad, and he goes, "'Tis better to ask for forgiveness." Don't follow this, by the way. This is a wrong adage, and this
Yep.
got me in a ton of trouble. But he told me, he goes, "'Tis better to beg for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission."
Oh yeah,
So he gave me the credit
I'm
card.
the worst one of doing that.
Yeah, so he gave me the credit card, and I bought it online. It showed up. My mom saw it, and she goes, "What the hell is this?" And I grabbed the package. I was like, "Yay, it came!" And I opened it up, and she saw what it was. And she goes, "Didn't I tell you no?" And I stopped, and I realized that I shouldn't have opened that in front of her.
Yeah, probably not one of your finer moments.
And so she absolutely yelled at me, took it away from me, grounded me for like 4 weeks or something like that. And I finally got it back, and I started downloading music on it. It was called a Zune. And
Yeah, I remember those.
and it held,
It was like the non-Apple version, which would make sense because that's something Coop would want.
well, it wasn't as expensive as an Apple.
I thought they were just as much.
It was like $140 versus the one of the same size Apple was
It
like
was like
$250.
it was like the less
Which
cool
is-
version of the Apple.
Which is why I wanted it, is because
Yeah.
it didn't cost as much.
yeah,
And so,
yeah, they had the little black one with the little thing at the
what
bottom.
mine was.
Yeah,
and it was something
that
like,
thick.
yeah, it was something like, it was like 15 or 1600 songs, and I had like 40 songs on it because that's all I had. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And oh, dude, I caught in so much trouble for that. But it was funny.
I ended up getting an iPod towards like the end when they weren't cool, and I didn't know how to tell my parents like I didn't really want it. But and they even had it personalized, like Ryan, please don't lose me, is what the little iPod said.
Oh,
Because I was notorious for, like, I would never get like expensive sunglasses or watches or anything because I was just hard on them. I'd go play football and forget to take like my watch off, and they'd smash it. They'd
Yep.
be like, "What?
Eat it up."
Why? I was like, I don't know. Wasn't thinking. I go, you do that a lot. But
no one ever credited me with being smart, Mom.
yeah, that's on you for assuming. I'm an idiot.
I say, but other than that, that's really kind of it. We'll get to the smaller things. Let's see. Beatty, he's a sergeant now, not a corporal. He said Corporal Patton. It's Sergeant Patton now.
Sergeant Patton.
Let's see. Culbertson says, I'm 19 and I know what a Walkman is. Well,
Good for you.
that's a start. The 19
you.
thing I'm not super happy with, but, rub that age in.
Yeah, that's
Let's see. Weather for the week. Oh, man, it's going to be warm all week.
yeah, no rain.
Looking
here.
at 90 degrees with Thursday being the lowest at 86. So 90, 90, 91, 90, 86, 90, 91 with sun all week. Got a little bit of cloud coverage, but no relief. Oh, that's upsetting.
Yes. Sorry, I'm spacing.
I'll be in Colorado
Good for you. You deserve it.
with the same heat.
Yeah, the weather's pretty similar to what
Yeah.
it is out there. Might be a little.
It's
cooler.
higher, so it's a little bit less. It's not
There's
as humid.
Yeah,
There's
it's
some
a
humidity in
drastic
Colorado, but
drastic
yeah.
difference. I got family that visits,
Excuse
and
me.
I've got family that visits. They're the ones that will visit, every 6-7 months or so. They'll come in town, or we'll come in town. So it ends up being like every other year we visit, or whatever. And they always come in the summer because they want to swim in our pool. And
Of course they do.
Joey,
least they get
my cousin,
invited.
is just like, it's thick. He's just
Oh,
beating,
dude.
just beating.
I
They're not
remember-
used to it.
I remember the first time I moved here. I had the
Oh yeah, because you're from New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah.
When we came here first time, I had AC on with the recycle, so it kept the same air in the vehicle. I'd stopped twice for fuel, but I got out, closed the door, so not a lot of outside air got in. We got here, and I stepped out for the very first time, and for a stable 25 to 30 minutes, and I stepped out. I thought I was going to drown.
Yeah, the air you can
It
wear.
was so much. The difference is ridiculous.
Probably better for our skin though.
I don't think it makes a difference for me. But I don't have. Never mind. But yeah, no. I just opened the door and I stepped out. It was like 5 minutes later. I was just like, "Oh my goodness, where's all the water?"
You can see my face. I've got a good little base going.
You got a good little tan there.
I was spent some time in the pool Saturday after the partay, and then yesterday evening it cleared up about 2:30. I had Dad over, and had a little pizza party. I've been eating pizza a lot lately, and I'm not complaining, but yeah, that was fun. So the sun came out. We got to get in the pool the second half of the day.
So let's see. Other than that, altitude will absolutely mess you up. It also messes with cooking. If you didn't know that.
I never used to get altitude sickness, and again, I would visit Colorado probably once every other year since I was little. Pretty close with my cousins, that side of the family, and this last time, probably 2 years ago, one of the last couple times we went out there, I was throttled, just like bed sick, like in bed, like couldn't. It just horrible headache, and I was like, what is going on? And I just thought that was just a hangover at first, but at 3 o'clock I wasn't any better, and I was like, "What?" And they're like, "It's altitude sickness." I was like, "I've never gotten this before. I don't get
never
motion sickness. I don't get any of that."
I'd never heard about it until about a week ago. Someone had warned me about
turning
it.
into a little old lady.
Say hydrate well and eat some red meat. Yes, always stay hydrated. Hydration is your friend. Remember, for hydration, do the day before, not the day of. I'm gonna be horrible, broken record with that.
Well, it's important.
But
Stay
other than
hydrated.
that, we're going to call it for the day. So thank you guys so much for showing up. Thank you guys for showing up on Saturday and for doing the event with us. We appreciate you guys for showing up. For those of you who did, for those of you who weren't able to make it, we missed you. We really hoped you'd show up.
Yep.
But for those of you who were working and couldn't show up, we appreciate you guys doing that and knocking it out of the park.
I've
for
already
us.
got Brian's brain thinking about the Christmas party. It's like He's a big Christmas guy. So am I. I love Christmas time of year. And
Bro,
yeah.
you got months. Really?
Bro, if you start early, it's even better.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, pumpkin spice lattes will be out soon.
We're not talking about pumpkin
Don't
spice
you
again.
worry.
I'm
I
gonna-
give it 2
I'm gonna,
months.
I'm going to throw away
August 1st,
everything
Hocus
you bring
Pocus.
pumpkin spice in.
August 1st, Hocus Pocus is on at the house.
It doesn't
And
surprise.
then
Don't you have
August
those
2nd,
like
Hocus Pocus 2.
pictures
Yeah,
she puts up?
They're like the size of this freaking sign. Yeah, they go above our fireplace. They were not cheap either. But I love decorating for the seasons. I couldn't live somewhere like Florida where it's nice all the time. I mean, I could probably for a while, but then I'd have to come have some cold months. But the weather just doesn't. We did a lake walk, and Leon's like, it's hot. I was like, I don't even think about it. And I was sweating. The time I
kinda
think
just
about being
move past
hot
it.
is going back to my desk.
Yeah.
And
Well,
because
'cause you come
I
inside-
can't get my office cranked like Rose's is. He has like meat hanging from his ceiling.
Oh,
It's
I
so
love
cold in there. I know. I love it
Man,
too.
I would love
wish
to.
they would hook me up with his
Unfortunately-
air.
Unfortunately, the person I share my office with has a space heater and she turns it on.
Yeah, Leon gets cold easily too, so he probably wouldn't like it. But I don't like being stagnant and hot, like inside.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Oh, it's got to be like my house sits at 68 degrees, dude. It's beautiful.
Ours is 72.
Couldn't do it. It's too hot.
It actually feels pretty good though.
68's where it's at.
That's cold.
It's beautiful.
My
But
electric bill would be through
I
the
just
roof.
think it's the second time I'm gonna try and end it. So we appreciate it, guys. Thank you
And
so
actually-
much. Thank you so much for coming and enjoying watching the show with us. Again, we will not be live Friday, but we will be back Monday. We appreciate you guys so much, and everything you do out in the field allows us to continue to do stuff like this.
What
so,
if we say Brian will do it?
on Friday?
Yeah, he might.
I'll talk to him.
We'll talk to him.
You might have a surprise show on Friday.
Brian will
For
talk
right
to
now,
you.
I'm going to say there's no show, but Brian
Leave you
might
in
show up.
suspense. Pumpkin spice latte.
So thank you guys so much.
Hocus pocus.
Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will catch you guys on the next one.
See you
Thanks.
guys.